else, then I'm the bad guy. So you're right about that. But my only criticism is, you're right. They have used your name for content, but one of the biggest differences in this specific situation is I don't think you kind of understood the climate between those both guys.
I'm well aware of the climate.
So get into that, because that's where I kind of was like, being for someone who's interviewed the same person, I understand who he is. So I want to know from your point of view, like, you get where they're coming from at all?
I'm born and raised in the city. I've had friends on both sides. People close to me at both sides of that beat for decades.
Okay.
So I'm like well aware of what it is between the neighborhoods and the Hoovers.
No, not necessarily with the neighborhoods. Hoover. Obviously, we know that. But these specific situations.
I was aware. You know, I worked in No Jumper.
Okay.
I knew that Trell made a stipulation that he would no longer be doing content over there if Cripmac would continue to be over there and platform. So yeah, like I'm aware of that, and I was aware of what happened with Blasey. But first of all, it wasn't me bringing them up. It wasn't premeditated, and it was in the midst of a conversation about No Jumper, and it wasn't like an intentional thing. Like, oh, let me just, if I wanted to go viral off of that, I could have done it very easily and been like, Cripmac, what are your thoughts on
really
Trell?
dig in.
What are your thoughts on Trell?
No, I believe you, because I know you and I know your heart.
If I really wanted to go viral, I could have done it. But I did it in a way to let Crip, because the whole conversation, the premise of the conversation was, how come you didn't go to No Jumper first? Why did you come to the Lush World at the pop-up for your first interview back?
Which is a good question.
And then so he starts talking about his affiliations over here and why he rocks with us and Rick and Ralph and Lupe and all that. And then I was like, well, it's kind of crazy because I don't know how tapped in you are, but No Jumper isn't falling the fuck off and is not cracking like it used to be. In fact, pretty much everyone left. AD left. Got his own platform called Cuhmunity. He's clicked up with Trell and Smacc. That's all I said. And when I said Trell and Smacc, then he cut me off.
This is where I got to stop you, brother. Respectfully.
Yeah.
Because you are that great of a podcaster, because you bring this much value into the space, and it speaks to your numbers, and it speaks to the value you brought at No Jumper and other platforms. I have to say, I think maybe more due diligence should have been done, because once those names were mentioned, and being that you have frequented the platform and your relationship, I think that you're great enough to go elsewhere. The minute that those two names, I think, because if we're talking about somebody else, Flock, the dude from the other African on No Jumper, whatever, you just started interviewing and doing podcasts but the paradigm that you operate from, I felt like that maybe you could have went somewhere else. And I'm just human. It's my
yeah. You're entitled to say that. And I don't.
What do you think about?
No, I think you're probably right, but I don't regret saying what I did. I did not say anything wrong.
Yeah, it wasn't no crazy.
And like we cool, I fuck with Trell and them. We cool.
Yeah, he obviously. Yeah.
But we don't. I'm not clicked up with them or nothing. If I was over there all the time and we were working more in conjunction, I probably wouldn't have even done the interview to begin with.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean?
Talk about it.
Like, I would have no reason to do that interview. I don't work for Back on Pig. I don't work for Pigmunity. You know what I mean? If they wanted to hire me, that could happen. We still are in talks of working together and doing stuff. People think that, like, oh, they're never like, bro, Trell hit me up yesterday. And we're texting back and forth for like a half hour. He's like, bro, just know that it's only content. We're cool. Like, I fuck with you heavy. I'm going to bring you on, blah, 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 blah. My thing is this, like, it's only content. So I get that. And I'm not butthurt about it. But the whole premise of the content regarding me over there, and so much of the No Jumper universe is like, oh, let's laugh at this guy. Let's make fun of this guy. Okay. Let's hold this guy out. Like, if y'all were really the homies like that, y'all would clear it up. But clearly, I don't know. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm 41 years old. Me and my homies joke around, but I never need to question that they're my homies or not. I never, if people saw our interactions, they would never be like, oh, like, they don't really fuck with him like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's clearly the love. Like, we're not cool enough as to where it's all that negativity doesn't outweigh what's like the love to the point where 98% of all people don't know that we're cool like we are. And does it look like that we fuck with each other like that?
That's my point. Do you how do you feel about fucking with you in private and dissing you in public?
I think
because I deal with a lot of that in the same space. People that fuck with my content, but they'll say it privately, but they won't say it publicly due to the fat.
That's what everybody does.
Bro,
so I want to know how you feel like.
I think that's what everybody does. Yeah, they will literally be the ones that write a comment like "you fat ugly bitch," and then they'll see in person
your
like,
DM
"He's so pretty."
No, but what about if it was people that were
in the same space?
Yeah, your contemporaries.
That in time will show, and when it does, you already knew, and then you got to ask yourself, why did I not,
Let's say
trust myself?
Let's say there's like